In the absence of the township supervisor, I would like to call the meeting of the Charter Township Court into order. A motion's in order to appoint a president pro tem for this meeting. I would move that we appoint John Reno. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We'll start being with salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Zudash?
Here.
Trustee Pringle?
Here.
Trustee Falk? Here. Trustee Reno?
Here.
Treasurer Shonka?
Here.
Clerk Davis here. Supervisor Lewandowski is absent.
Next is the approval of the minutes from March 3rd. Entertain a motion to do so.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Moved by Dudas, supported by Falk. Any discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You have public comments. Anyone wishing to address the board on a non-agenda item? Now is your time to do so, and that the meeting is being recorded for future use. Yes, Carol.
Hi, John. For those that, I know, Pat, your company belongs to the EDA, but business is different than townships and cities. I don't know if the rest of you have been following what's been going on with the EDA, but the county is separated from the EDA. And Bob, at one of the last meetings, said he was going to rescind his confidentiality agreement. And once he rescinds it, he will no longer be able to be on the EDA. So that means our dues won't be used. And it's $13,025. And what I'd like to know is if we could take and possibly use that money and put it towards the Hoover Park playground equipment. It's badly in need of painting, repair. The park's kind of looks like it's been neglected a little bit. So when you guys look at this stuff like that, could you possibly consider that? And that's all I've got.
Anyone else?
I'll just give a brief statement. So I guess
Could you have your name, please, sir?
it's kind of I know there's been a lot of concern about the EDA. I guess my concern is that if we pull out of the EDA, that it's going to harm some local businesses within St. Clair County. I understand that some people have issues with the EDA. However, we have to consider the consequence of what it would be like to pull out of it. Now, granted, this is more of a township meeting more than it is a county meeting, so I question somewhat of the relevance here. But if the township has any control over this, which I doubt, I do think it'd be best to consider whether we thought that the consequence of what pulling out the EDA would be like if the Charter Township were to make a move, which I don't think it can, but just something I think that we should consider if we haven't already. Also, I mean, I haven't plugged it yet, but I guess I'll just to see where I'm at. It's Tyler Week Inc. It's mejnck.substack.com. I don't know if I gave it previously, but I just thought I would just be aware of what I was doing. You can check up as to what my projects are, my writing project I'm doing. So I would give a little update here. That's it.
Anyone else? No, we'll move on with the agenda, the new agenda items. The service report.
Good evening. You should have in front of you my report for activity in the month of February. There were just a couple of items that were handled on behalf of the township. Pretty self-explanatory, but I'll be happy to answer any questions the board might have.
Anyone have any questions for the attorney? Thanks, Tom. Next on the agenda is the engineer's report.
Thank you. Got a couple of updates, a couple of agenda items. We'll go through those first. Trying to pull up a few photos related to this Bakersfield pathway, datum number 1 under my report. You should have in your packet pay application for Telto Contracting. It's their initial pay application for the Bakersfield Park pathway construction. I just want wanted to have a few photos so you guys can see some of what's been going on out there. It's a little hard to get back to the site where they're currently working, but I just wanted to show you a few things. On the left picture there, you see some helical piles. Those are like 7-foot segments. There's 10 helical piles total that help support the boardwalk that'll span over the wetland area and a little stream crossing there. Those go in the ground about 40 to 50 feet to help support the boardwalk. On the right picture, you see they're driving one of those piles. They actually get screwed into the ground, and then we track the torque rating on the machine to make sure they're getting enough resistance to help ultimately support the boardwalk. That's how that process works with the helical piles. Picture on the left is just showing, I think there's about 6 piles in there right now, but you can kind of see that drain crossing that we're going to span. So it's just a small bridge that goes over across that drain crossing. On the right, they're just forming up some of the embankments that will support either side. And just give you an idea what those look like. That's the steel rebar on the left for that structure, and then it's encased in concrete on the right there. So those are the embankments that will support the ends, and then in the middle they're supported by the helical piles. And those embankments are both supported by a pair of helical piles on either end too. So just wanted to give you some context to the pay application that we've got in front of you. For pay application 1, Toto's completed $62,100 worth of work. Again, tree clearing and helical pile placement. This does not include the money for the embankments that'll be on the next pay application that they actually submitted to me today, but we'll keep them separate. When we consider retainage, 10% at this stage of the project, pay application comes out to $55,890, which is what I would recommend approval on this evening. Anybody have any questions on pay application 1 for Bakersfield Park? Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the pay estimate number 1 for $55,890.
I'll make that motion, John.
Motion by Dudas, do I have a support?
I'll support it.
Support by Pringle. Any further discussion? Have a roll call by the clerk, please.
Dudash?
Yes.
Pringle?
Yes.
Falk?
Yes.
Reno?
Yes.
Shaka?
Yes.
Davis, yes.
All right, move on to item number 2, under engineer's report. Should have a letter in your packet dated March 13th, 2025. This is in regards to the Howard Street sidewalk. If you remember, I believe it was last year, I don't remember the exact date, we took bids on the Howard Street sidewalk project, only got one bid. We decided at that time that bid was not gonna work. It was too expensive. It wasn't competitive. It was over the engineer's estimate at the time. So we decided we were gonna rebid over the winter and hope that getting on BidNet would get us a larger bidder pool. And I think it's worked because the bid results came in a lot more favorable this time. So whether it's just a market that more contractors were available, time of year, or whatever it was, it's a lot more favorable. So we took bids on March 4th, received 3. We did have to disregard or throw out one bid. The Prime Construction did not acknowledge a couple of addendums that were issued on the project, so per the contract language, we had to exclude them from consideration. But the other 2 bids came in reasonable, a lot less than the last round. I think last round all told $350,000 for the base bid work. Alternate A, which is a section of sidewalk on 24th Street north of Howard Street, and alternate B was a section on 24th south of Howard Street. But about $350,000 on that round of bidding. The total this time is $161,000 and some change. So obviously significant savings, and it's actually under our engineer's estimate. So the low bidder a little bit with Stafford Landscaping and Construction. I wasn't familiar with them, so we reached out, we asked for some references, we got 3 references. All of them came back with very positive feedback, and it sounded like they've done similar projects for other communities. So felt pretty good about recommending the award to Stafford Landscaping and Construction in the amount of $161,487.50 based on the bid for base bid work, alternate A and alternate B.
So that's for everything other than, I mean, the last bid was 300 and some thousand.
Approximately $350,000. 161 will get you the same sidewalk that was priced under the last bid.
We're putting the year?
Yeah, for sure. So if the board wants to consider that as a motion, my only recommendation would be that we authorize approximately an 8% contingency, which would be about $12,500 to allow for some changes if we have any unforeseen items. That could be like an increase in quantities for restoration, or if we need to just do a little bit of more underground work to make a culvert work or something like that, just to have the ability to make a few changes during construction. So, but if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, or else I'd leave it to the board to make a motion for approval.
I'll entertain a motion for the awarding of Stafford Landscaping for $161,487.50 with a $12,000 contingency.
$12,500 contingency?
What, I'm sorry, did you say-
12,500 was my recommendation.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't get the 500. May I have someone make that motion, please?
I will make that motion.
Motion by Pringle, do I have a support?
I'll second it.
Support by Falk. Any further discussion?
The Stanford, are they local or are they?
Trying to see if I got it referenced in here. Usually I put where they're out of.
Says they're out of Waterford Township. I know that's you.
No. I don't see it in the letter. I can try to look it up real quick while we're talking, but.
I was just curious.
Good second. Yeah.
I guess we can proceed if that's okay, I can find out when it was.
Yeah, no worries. I'll pull it up and we'll,
Okay.
I'll let you know. So you got a motion?
I got a motion and a support. Have a roll call by the clerk, please.
Pringle,
Yes.
Falk,
Yes.
Dudash,
Yes.
Shonka,
Yes.
Davis, yes, Reno.
Yes.
Do they say when they can start? Actually, yeah, they're looking to start fairly quickly as soon as frost laws will allow them to move machines. They've got another job, I think he said in Chesterfield, but they can't start that right away, so they'd like to get this one going pretty quick. The only holdup I have on our end is we reached out to the road commission to make sure the permit was still valid, because we got that when the original bid went out. They wanted to relook at the plans, and they just came back to us with a few comments that will get addressed quickly and resolved in time for the contractor to start. So.
Anyone else have any questions for Mike? Hearing none, we'll move on to the sheriff's report.
He had to step off for an emergency,
Oh,
so he's.
okay. Everybody Fire Chief. You're up.
Good evening. You see the incident breakdown in front of you. We had two notable incidents in the township. Crews responded to a structure fire at the 4100 block of Ravenswood. So as most of you probably know, it's an old auto repair shop or gas station, whatever it was. Somebody was living upstairs. Fire broke out. It was unreported for a while. When crews arrived, there was heavy fire upstairs. They were able to knock it down in a timely manner. And the second one, structure fire 4600 block of Kingsbury. That one was also undetected for a while. Crews arrived with moderate fire inside the home, but they were able to suppress it pretty quickly. And I want to give special thanks to Deputy Fleming with the Sheriff's Office. He was a huge help in our last three fires. The deputies usually do a good job helping us, but he went above and beyond for all three of these incidents. So. Any questions on incident breakdown over here?
Good job.
All right. So board activity. Approval to hire Jaden Trice as a paid-on-call fire candidate. I didn't bring him in today. If approved, I'm going to send him to a physical, and then I'll bring him with me next week's board meeting.
I'll entertain a motion to approve hiring Jaden Trice as a paid on-call fire candidate.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Dudas, do I have a support?
Support.
Support by Paul. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, next I have approval to list 2002 HME pumper with a minimum acceptable price of $30,000. If we're unable to get that price, I'll come back to you guys with whatever offer I can get for this. Unfortunately, a truck of that age we'll be lucky to get $30,000 for it. I did talk to a couple vendors that sell apparatus, and they usually, if we go that route, they charge 10%.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Pringle to advertise the pumper for minimum bid of $30,000. Have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Dudas.
Feel pretty certain we can sell it at some price, somewhere along the line.
I'm sure we could sell it for something, but what that is, I don't know. The company I talked to today is out of Alabama, so I think we are more likely to sell it somewhere down south. But they market nationwide, so see what we can get.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
The last thing I got for you is approval of the quote from Digicom Global for the purchase of 4 Kenwood handheld radios. So with this, the county's switching to radio encryption. So far, we only have 3 radios that are capable of this. And our radios are about 17 to 18 years old now, and they're outdated. We can't get parts for them unless we find an aftermarket vendor. And they're not capable of going encrypted.
Like the ones that are unencrypted, can you use those?
We'll be able to use them back and forth, but they won't be able to reach dispatch. They don't have a hard date set on that. I think law enforcement's going live with it next month, so probably a year from now. So I kind of threw this bid with the 4, because the prices are increasing, of course, next month, and I'm sure they'll increase again at the start of the year.
How many do we really need, just 4, or we need more?
We need at least 15. Yeah, but the price for 15 was too much for my budget right now. So I'm going to try to, if I have money left over at the end of the year, I might buy another 4 and just slowly build up.
Hold up for the $30,000.
Yeah, or if we could sell the truck for $30,000, that's more ridiculous.
How many radios will I buy?
7.
7?
I included Motorola as well, so these are state pricing, so there's no, can't get them cheaper from any other vendor. But I just threw in Motorola so you can see the price difference between the two.
They're like 28,000 and you're
Yeah.
17. Entertain a motion to purchase the radios of the chief.
Can I ask a quick question, if I could? Can I ask a question?
Sure you can.
How do you, if you need more radios and you don't have enough, how do you prioritize who gets who gets the radios?
So I would prioritize with duty officers first, because they're more likely to communicate with central dispatch.
Are these radios gonna be handheld or are they gonna be
They're handheld, just like the one I have right here.
So the firefighter that's going into the fire, how do they communicate?
So we could still communicate with each other. So typically the incident commander, which would be myself or one of the duty officers, would communicate back to central dispatch. So we'd still be able to communicate with our old radios
Oh, okay.
to each other,
Okay.
just not to the county.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
We didn't have, did we have a motion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who made the motion? I'm sorry. I didn't get a motion.
That was the last one.
Need a motion.
I'll make the motion that we buy 4 radios.
Moved by Dudek, do I have a support?
Support.
Support by Paul?
Is it 4 or 7 radios?
4.
It's only 4.
Okay.
Except if we can sell the truck. Anything else that we can sell out there?
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Sorry for that, I thought I had a motion.
Hey, John, that contractor's out of Riley Township, so they're just down 69 a little ways.
Oh, okay.
Carol, get there.
Can I ask you something?
Mhm.
Can you come up to the front for me?
Got that gold run?
Come here. We just wanted to say thank you so much. You have built the fire department up to something that we're so very proud of. We had an extremely generous donor who, even though I tried to beg the person to let us know who it is, the person does not want to be known, but we partnered with the donor and Flags and More. Dawn and I went out and solicited this poor guy donor. But we wanted to give you something to go with your brand new fire truck. And so instead of a 3x5 flag, you now have a 15-foot by 25-foot flag.
All right,
thank you.
So thank you for all you guys do.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to next item, E, is to approve the lot change application for Vardy parcels on Knapp Avenue. These were at the planning commission last Thursday. They've met all the approvals. There's 6 lots, 100 by 400. They're on Knapp Avenue, like on the opposite side of the VFW, on the north side of Knapp. But they've met all the requirements and the planning commission approved it. So.
Is he planning to start building real soon or just split?
He's just to split, he didn't have any timeline as far as when they're residential lots, so
Right.
it'd be single family.
Just say building.
So I entertain a motion to approve the lot split application.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Dudas, do I have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Pringle. Any further discussion?
That neighborhood's gonna almost double when we get this houses built. There's only 8 houses on that avenue. Drove down there yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be,
I mean, these are good sized lots.
yeah.
Anybody else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is approval of bills.
Make a motion, we approve the prepaid bills in the amount of $272,607.40.
Have a motion by Shonka, do we have support?
Support.
Support by Davis. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is the current bills.
Motion, we approve the current bills in the amount of $143,002.69.
Have a motion by Shonka, do I have a support?
Support.
Support by Falk. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I don't have any more much for me to do. Or anybody? Anybody got anything?
I got some updates from SimCog. Tax exempt on bond sales. Looks like that's gonna go through, or might have already. Or the canceling that, the tax exemption. There's a push in other counties to narrow the lot size, talking about lot sizes. They wanna do compact housing, go down from 90 or 100 down to 50-foot lot sizes. So you can cram more. And I asked them where these people are coming from that you need to, and they feel that the big warehousing is gonna bring people in. Like I said, St. Clair County, and at least Fort Huron Township, there's no way we can attract like Amazon or Prime. They just built another 1 million square foot warehouse down on E-Course, and we don't have enough water suppression for their fires. And their docking system would be able to dock like 500 trucks at a time. So that's just a killer, but just to get an update, that's what's going on out there. And they're making them up, what's that?
Like our current zoning is like an 80-foot in R1, but it's RM3, but on the 60. And there are some platted lots down in the Elmwood plat that are 50 feet that are legally you can build on.
Yeah, they're just saying 7 foot 5 on each side of the house, what they're requiring. So,
Pretty close together.
just get the fire truck to the backyard is all I said you could do on that. No shrubbery allowed. And they're making them into molded stories down there. I'd love to, that came from the freight meeting we had. And they're also looking for vacant lots that can handle freight trucks. The MDOT is closing a lot of the rest stops along the expressways. So they won't be, they've already closed one between 94 down by Fredmore. They already closed one on the westbound side. And they closed the one over in Jackson. One in Jackson was a big one. But they figure they can get a private property and see if they couldn't get a private owner to go in there and put in electric charging stations and everything else on them.
That's kind of weird they went with electric charging since it's,
Well,
it's not,
they're still going with the program. The state is where they're doing that, Loves and Pilots, where they're going to put 32 stations available, plus I forgot how much on the semis. But the problem with semis, whether if they go electric with the semis, which is gonna end up happening probably, by the Teamsters were there to talk about it too, because it's gonna be good for them, because they end up having, you can only hold 20 tons instead of 40 tons. So you're gonna double the number of trucks on the road.
how many hours will it take to charge up a semi?
Oh, yeah.
4, 5,
Yep.
6.
That's why they're looking for private, making more into, we don't have any of them in Michigan, but go down to Ohio or across to Canada on the E-way. They have the big, huge truck plazas with restaurants and that, and like Don's Trucking and, Don's Truck Stop in Lansing, where they got hotels, motels built right into them. In fact, they got ones that look like the mall down in Ohio. It's as big as the Birchwood Mall. They're looking for something like that where they can park, because you've got, you go from 40,000 tons down to, or 4,000, or 40 tons down to 20 tons. You just put twice as many semis on the road. And what else did we talk about? Water levels. Let's talk a little bit about Mike on this. They're doing a survey of Rouge River floodplain, which goes almost out to Ann Arbor, doesn't it? And they're plotting it because the 50-year floodplain is just about outdated, because you end up having a 50-year rain every year. Now, 100-year comes in at least once in a decade now. So FEMA and insurance companies along the rivers are raising rates horribly. So, water entrapment is what they're looking for. And going back to on the trucking side, Amazon sales, 30% is plus is returns. Kohl's and places like Target, where they pick back those, are averaging 2 semis a day per location, just in returns, getting them back out of the buildings. So.
Soon to be 4.
What's that?
Soon to be 4 trucks a day.
Soon to be 4, yeah. So, you know, and, Conrail was there, and they're still looking at Port Yarmouth doing an upgrade on the Amtrak. And getting it to the airport. They would like to be able to tag in the airports with Amtrak. And I said, man, there's a lot of property along your station in Port Yarmouth. Yeah, we know it. Their biggest problem is the big three keeps shutting them down before they even get into any stage of planning, because they don't want commuter service in Michigan, rail service. And going back to the radios, we talked about this in let me get to the picture. Yeah, here it is. It said Main Street grants, looking for opportunities, and the radios will come out as that. And we had somebody that donated that flag, and if it's 15 by 20, that's got to be like $1,000 almost. How much is it? I think you told me, wasn't it?
$1,000.
$1,000. Maybe make that known to the community that we need 15 more radios, but it's going to cost us tons of dollars. And we do have strong support for our fire system in this township. Maybe we can get private donations to come up. And I said, looked at in Main Street and making in quiet parks and that sort of things, and storefront improvement, road improvement, putting in benches along walkways. See if you can. But you need to approach or make it known that we have a project and we know basically what the cost is before we go to them and make it publicly known. And see if private citizens can just make a donation. 500 here, 1,000 there.
Two radios.
One radio at a time.
Yeah.
But that was it for right now. Plus, the meeting is on Thursday down at the railroad station, I think you said, the Detroit train station.
Yes, I know that. You want?
Oh, yeah. But that's it.
Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, I got a couple things. Our credit card online payments, we have probably gone over the $3 million mark for people paying online, both taxes and utilities, among other things. When we started this, we didn't have a cushion in the credit card fund for bad checks and things like that, because there wasn't that many at the time. Now, with that kind of volume, we're getting more. And I just had one last week, $5,000 in bad checks or bad transactions. It's worked out okay with the cash flow coming in and the money going out as far as that goes. But I think we need a cushion at this point. We need a baseline that we can come back to as far as the credit card fund. I would like to make that at $10,000, just so we have that cushion. We've had others that have been even more than that, but we got to scramble. So I'd like to make the motion to add that cushion to the credit card fund of $10,000.
Like when we can recoup those bad things.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You just need the money to.
You just need the money to be able
to do business while you're doing that.
Correct, yes, yes.
And how do we get that cushion here? Is it out of the general fund?
We'll move it from the general fund into the credit card fund.
Okay.
Have a motion by Treasurer Shaka to move $10,000 from the general fund to the credit card fund. Do I have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Davis. Any other discussion? Have a roll call by the clerk.
Shaka?
Yes.
Davis, yes. Pringle?
Yes.
Judash?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
And Reno.
Yes.
Okay, and also with that, we haven't implemented a rejected payment fee. And when we get a rejected payment like that and we have to process it, it goes through 4 hands before we get it back, where we can process the money back into the account. That takes quite a bit of time. I'd like to make a motion that we make the rejected payment fee of $50 because of the time involved in doing that.
Each hand or?
Per hand, no.
Yeah, should be.
So that would be put on to the, say the utility bills would be added onto the utility bills for the next payment, for the next quarter. Be added on.
Now, on the rejection, is there a fee that's gonna get zapped against that 5,000 already by the credit card company?
No.
It might on
They
the,
do
it might on
they
the
do
customer
It
end,
might on the
but it
customer,
doesn't on our end.
it's not on our end.
Okay.
Did the township establish this by resolution?
We did have a resolution, way back, it was $25 fee.
No, I mean, the whole credit card program.
Oh,
If we
yeah.
do have that by resolution, I would recommend that you do this by way of amendment to the resolution.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a credit card, resolution.
Does that include checks?
Yes,
You can
checks
add
and
check.
credit card.
Checks
Yes.
and credit card.
Okay,
It's the same for each.
question on
Takes
that.
just as much time.
Like, okay, you get a payment and it's like the bank rejects a bad check or whatever. Does then their account go into arrears and do they get charged the
Yes,
late fee?
we'll reverse the payment, and then we add that $50.
No, but do they get the payment late fee on the
Oh, yeah,
bill?
there'll be a late fee on the bill as well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You wanna restate your motion, please? We're just gonna make a resolution.
I'd like to make a resolution.
Motion to amend the resolution.
Motion to amend the resolution
From 25 to 50.
from $25 to $50.
I'll support that.
Motion by Treasurer Shaka, supported by Pringle, to amend the resolution on the credit card fee from $25 to $50. Is there any other discussion? Roll call by the clerk.
Shaka,
Yes.
Ringo,
Yes.
Dudash,
Yes.
Falk,
Yes.
Davis, yes, Reno.
Yes.
I would just recommend that when we publish those approval at the next meeting, that you bring the resolution in and update the resolution.
Okay. And that's all.
Anyone else have anything?